The 12 most important things that every relationship needs. This video will overview the most important things that every relationship needs in order to be healthy, happy, and long-lasting. You know what they say that no relationship is perfect, so you agree? Even if you and your partner are happy and in love with each other, it's not unusual to have disagreements and heated discussions. While these conflicts may be emotionally draining, psychologists say they may actually make your relationship stronger. If you feel like you're fighting more often than you would like, consider making some changes to your relationship. That may sound a bit vague, but that's because every relationship is different, so what works for you and your partner may not work for another couple. While you ponder about your relationship, watch this video until the end to overview 12 key pieces of advice that psychologists have for every couple that wants to strengthen their relationship. Remember that if you like this video, don't forget to hit that button. It really helps us to know that we should do more like this one. Also, check the description where you can find more resources related to the info in this video. So, keep watching to explore a few fail-proof tips if you want to go the extra mile in your relationship. And if you have something more to add to our list from your own experience, please share in the comments below. Maybe you will help someone else in their relationship. Be honest with each other. The truth sometimes hurts, but in our opinion, dishonesty hurts more. Honesty is the foundation of any relationship because unconditional trust makes people feel safe. Even if you think the truth will be hard for your partner to hear, they'll appreciate it in the long run. Being honest can be as simple as telling your partner that they may want to consider a breath mint, or as profound as letting them know that you don't think quitting their job is a good idea. Sure, it's hard to be honest with your partner, especially if you've been hurt in the past. But remember that you're not doing this for them, you're doing it for yourself. Honesty is important because it helps build a strong foundation of trust between two people. Work on being flexible. When you're in a relationship, it's not about winning or being right. It's about making each other feel good and letting go of the fight. Even if you feel like your idea is better, try to keep an open mind. For instance, if you're headed home from an event and you're convinced that your route of choice is faster, take a deep breath and ask yourself if this potential argument is worth it. Here is what the psychologists say. Anything you feel you won't care about in 30 minutes shouldn't be something about which you need to be right. If you're having a much bigger discussion about something a bit more significant and genuinely think that your approach to the topic is much better, then feel free to speak your mind. Use humor when you can. Most people don't like to argue or talk about the underlying or obvious issues in their relationships. These kinds of conversations can put a lot of undue pressure on both of you, effectively making the already uncomfortable situation that much worse. It may help to lighten the mood if you can. That way, you'll feel comfortable enough to feel like you can say what you want to say without your nerves getting in the way. Another plus is that a little bit of humor may help put the issue at hand in perspective. That said, if humor doesn't seem appropriate, definitely don't force it. Some things are too serious to be joked about. Try to see the glass half full. Remind yourself that you're with your partner because you value their good qualities. With that in mind, don't assume the worst when your partner does or says something. It is always a good idea to assume that people have good intentions. When you start to doubt them or expect them to fail, you'll only end up creating mistrust. This will help you to be more accepting and forgiving of your partner. It can also help you to see the good in them, even when they're struggling or behaving badly. Lose a bit of control. You are the only person you can control. You cannot control most of the things around you. Even if you are used to being in control, Letting your partner make some decisions that they feel strongly about will remind both of you that you are equals in this relationship. If you always decide everything in your common life, your partner may start to feel like you're criticizing or don't respect them. Losing some control will also let you be more relaxed in some sense. Have a list of things you are responsible for your decision, and another list for your partner's decisions, and let them decide on his or her loss with no remorse. Support them emotionally. You don't always have to agree with your partner, but before you dismiss their opinion because you think they're wrong, remember that everyone just wants to be heard. Make an effort to be there for them when they're struggling, even if it's because of a problem of their own doing. One phrase to avoid in this situation is, "I told you so." Being emotionally supportive of your partner is a great way to show that you have their best interests at heart. Emotional support is often more important than practical help because it helps someone feel cared for and valued during a difficult time. Take time for yourself. Even if you love spending time with your partner, set aside a few minutes each day to spend some time alone. Whether you meditate, read, or take a bath, you'll feel more recharged and ready to be with your partner again. If you're feeling anxious or stressed out, try doing a few breathing exercises to calm yourself down. Breathing exercises are a great way to relieve stress and anxiety, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed or out of control. These simple techniques can also help calm your mind when you're experiencing negative thoughts about yourself or your life situation. Let your differences work for you. Couples who respect their differences and celebrate those qualities tend to be happier in their relationships. If you and your partner have different personalities, that's not a bad thing. It can be a source of strength for your relationship. For example, if one of you is an introvert and the other is an extrovert, it may be helpful to know when and how to give each other space. That way, neither person feels forced into situations they don't want to be in. However, if you and your partner are different in more significant ways, for example, one of you is a morning person and the other is a night owl, it may be more challenging to find common ground. This is especially true if only one of you wants children or likes sports. Practice patience. We all do things that get on our partner's nerves sometimes, and that's true of all couples. Even if you adore your partner, they can still chew a little too loudly for your liking or hog the covers at night. It may be tempting to get angry and say something about it, but before you do, wait a few minutes. If you still feel like saying something after thinking it over, go ahead. If not, don't waste your breath. It's easy to get caught up in the heat of the moment when you're angry, so it can be helpful to wait until you've cooled off. If you do say something, remember that it's more effective if you're calm and thoughtful rather than emotional and ranting. Spend quality time together. If you have a busy schedule, travel a lot for work, or have a long-distance relationship, you may feel like dating is difficult. That isn't necessarily true. We all know that quality matters more than quantity, so if you are feeling insecure about how your lack of hours together may be affecting your relationship, make an effort to spend the time that you do have together, having common activities. If you and your partner share common interests, this will make the time you spend together more enjoyable. It's also important to set aside some time for one another each week. While it may be hard if you're both busy professionals with kids, try to make sure that at least once a week you have an uninterrupted evening where neither of you has any other plans or distractions. Forgive and forget. However, if your partner has done something incredibly hurtful, you might want to consider your own emotional health before forcing yourself to forgive them. When it comes to relationships, forgiveness is essential. You don't want to carry any lingering issues into your relationship with your partner. If you're disagreeing, talk about the issue calmly and respectfully. But if you find yourself unable to forgive after you've had a meaningful conversation about the problem, you may notice the trust go out of your relationship on both ends. If you're having trouble forgiving, think about why it's so important to forgive. You may have to work through some of your feelings first before you can get to the point where you can truly forgive. Avoid comparisons. Be your partner's biggest cheerleader. Remind yourself that you chose your partner because of their unique qualities, so measuring them up against someone is not only hurtful to them, but also unfair. Instead, focus on how proud you are of your partner and their achievements. If they share their dreams with you, be sure to let them know that you believe in them. When you find yourself comparing your partner to another person, stop and think. Are they truly similar, or are there qualities that make them unique? Is it possible that you are looking at a different set of circumstances in each scenario, which leads you to draw different conclusions? If so, then ask yourself why this other person is on your mind in the first place. If you have something more to add, use the comments to pick up the conversation there. Also, check the description where we placed more resources related to the info in this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to see more like this. In fact, why don't you click on the next one? We really think you will enjoy it.